we're back with another episode. Bitch, I said what I said.
All right, y'all, welcome back to another episode of The Face Off with Fleming and Fowler. We are back at it again.
Howdy, everybody.
Let me just say this. If y'all say anything about my hair looking like a 12-year-old, you're anti-black.
That's fucking racist.
Just don't say anything about my hair. Just don't.
Just
anyway,
don't.
As I've just brought attention to it. But anyway, people in the comments going to be, it's a kid. Shut up. No, it's not. It's not.
Shut your face.
I tried something different, and I look like a 12-year-old, and I hate it. Anyway, how was your week this past week?
It was great. You want to know why?
Why?
Because the Texas Longhorns beat Nick Saban and the University of Alabama, ending a 21-game home win streak.
Woohoo!
Yes.
You're not going to press your buttons?
Shit. That's the one I want.
Goodbye.
It was such a good game. Changed my whole weekend.
What was the score? Did y'all really beat them bad?
Yeah, it was a double-digit win. Why is it still laughing? Stop laughing. Ain't nothing funny here.
Because you didn't turn it off. That's why. That's awesome. Congratulations, University of Texas.
Thank you to me personally because I obviously coached the team. 34-24, we won by 10.
Oh, dang.
It was a good game.
I was out to dinner during the game, and yeah, it was like the third quarter, and they were like struggling. I was like, Alabama, anytime now. Y'all want to win?
Texas is back, baby. I
don't know that y'all are back. I think Alabama just sucks right now because they're rebuilding.
We're back. Texas is back.
I love that for y'all, though.
Yeah. I mean, we haven't won against Alabama since like the 80s or something.
Damn.
Yeah, and they haven't lost at home in 21 games.
Oh, y'all were at
We were in Alabama. We were in Tuscaloosa.
Wow.
Come on, baby. I'm on a high. You literally can't tell me nothing. I will be talking about this game for the foreseeable future.
I love that for y'all.
We are all super excited. I was in Austin this weekend. Mm-hmm. It was my friend Lauren's birthday. Happy birthday, Lauren. She's the light of my life, a Virgo queen. I made tiramisu.
Ooh, look at you trying to
because she made us dinner for her birthday.
Why would she do that?
Yeah, because she's an angel of a person and loves.
I would definitely make y'all cook for me.
She loves to cook. She has a whole ass garden, and she was like, "I want to make y'all dinner," so we went up there so she could make us dinner.
Yeah.
I went to. Have you ever been to 6th Street?
Okay, in Fort Lauderdale, that's a really difficult place. So, no.
Oh, okay. So, have you been to 6th Street in Austin?
No, I have not. I've only been to Austin like twice.
What?
And I just usually drive through for the IKEA before they build the IKEA here.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So, 6th Street is this long strip of bars, right? Mm-hmm. So, there's Dirty, which is kind of the middle part of 6th Street. There's East, there's West, and there's Dirty 6th.
Ugh.
Dirty 6th is just like the low down, nasty, what people think of 6th Street, just like these like crappy college-filled bars. Mm-hmm. I was telling my cousin the other day, when I was in college on 36th, they would accept your paper ID. Like, you know, when you go to the DMV, mm-hmm. you get a new ID, but it's not going to be there yet, so they give you that piece of paper.
Yeah.
They used to accept that at the door.
Oh, wow.
So everyone had a template, and I would just print myself a new fucking ID every weekend, allegedly. For the protection of the podcast.
Exactly.
And we would go and be like, here's my ticket. And they'd be like, perfect, come on it. Like, that is 36.
That's amazing.
And it was just like, you knew that you could get into those bars, allegedly, if you were underage. Mm-hmm. But the bars on West 6th Street were a little nicer and more strict. So you had to be 21. So in my head, it was always like, oh, when we're older, we'll go to West 6. When you're older, you go to West, you can go to West. Okay, so that's all I had in my head. When you're older, you can go to West.
Yeah.
Our hotel that we stayed at was right on West 6. So it was so nice. You walk out, there's all these bars. We came home on Friday after Lauren cooked us a beautiful dinner. Mm-hmm. And we were like, let's just stop into a bar. Like, why not? This is West 6. There's probably older people. We don't have to deal with the kids, whatever. I walk in. The average age at this bar is 22 years old.
Because they're all happy to be there too.
Yes. And I was like, oh, because they're legal. That was old to me when I was 18. I've never felt older in my life. I looked across the bar. It's full of 22 to 25-year-olds and this one 40-year-old woman with a shit ton of Botox and filler. Oh, okay. And I was like, is that what I look like in this bar? I'm like 30 fucking years old.
No, you don't look like that.
And so it just like, it was a dose of reality. I'm not used to being in Austin anymore. There's a bunch of young, hot people everywhere.
Okay, you're young and hot.
But I don't live in a place full of young and hot people.
You don't think people in San Antonio are young and hot?
Absolutely not. No. Everyone's old with dad bod and mom bod.
Because they're all retired military.
Yeah, because that's what it is here. It's like
seriously,
families and shit. So like you're just stopped at a light. I'm literally stopped at a light talking to Sophia in the car. And the most attractive man I've ever seen just jogs by shirtless, and we both just went silent. We were just like, oh.
Why aren't you in San Antonio?
Yeah, so that was fun. And then, I think someone tried to recruit us to like some right-wing militia.
You should have just did it just to see what the rules are.
I should have. He came up. We went to Barton Springs, which is like
podcast.
this big natural pool situation that you can go to. And we're just all sitting there in this group of people, but none of us look like we would be the person you would approach to be in anything
malicious
or right leaning at all. And he was like, hey, do y'all live in Austin? We're like, yeah. Lie. And he was like, do y'all like freedom?
What? Is that a new candy bar? Sure.
And we were like, and then this girl saw his flyer because he had flyers, and she was like, there's a flag on the flyer. Like, no.
MAGA, don't do it.
Yeah. And I'm like, he wasn't wearing shoes. It was very weird. Austin is still weird. We're going to keep it weird.
Wow.
But yeah, that was my weekend in Austin.
That's interesting.
I missed it. There's some colorful people.
I'm happy for you.
Do I like freedom? What the fuck kind of question is that?
Like, who's trying to take your country?
I know. I was like, personal freedom?
Right. Or what kind of freedom are we talking about specifically?
I'm like, oh, I hate it. I wish I lived somewhere else.
Like, I love cults, just like you're in right now.
Yeah,
sir.
That's why I live in fucking America, because I hate freedom. Anyway, that was my weekend. Go Horns, go. Happy birthday, Lauren.
That's awesome.
Shouts out to American freedom.
America. America. Remember you did that on the previous podcast? You're like, America. America. That is crazy. Saying some
shit. How was your weekend?
My week was actually pretty good. It was the longest, shortest week ever because, as you know, Labor Day was last weekend this past last Monday. And it was the longest, shortest week ever. Like, when you have those 4-day weekend or 4-day work weeks, it just takes forever to get to Friday. And you're just like, we just started. I'm already ready to go.
Was your day off so hard?
I slept a lot. It was, but I was productive though, which was really, really good.
That's good.
But yeah, other than that, my week was really good. Work wasn't too crazy, thank God. I was very productive over the weekend, so I was very happy about that. Nothing crazy exciting happened. Not like horrible, thank God. Knock on wood or whatever that is. I did have dinner with one of my former classmates from undergrad and PT school. Well, she was 2 years ahead of me in PT school, but she actually owns Get Physical RX, in the Houston area. So if you're in Houston, Texas, and you need physical therapy services, please go down to Get Physical RX, and I'll drop her information in our description, so you can go there and get all kind of outpatient services for physical therapy, and she's amazing. So we had dinner, we got to catch up. I hadn't seen her in such a long time, so it was really good to just kind of reminisce. We were both talking about how we feel like our teachers really duped us and didn't give us the authentic truth about our profession, but it was really good to see her and catch up with her. So shouts out to Jen.
I do believe that before the rise of tech, probably physical therapy wasn't a horrible job to have in the broader context.
I disagree.
But now that you have all these other jobs where people are making more than you doing half the fucking shit you do, I'd also be like, yeah, this isn't it.
When I was in PT school on clinicals, I was like, I think I made the wrong decision. Oh, no. Dead serious.
You're too deep.
Yeah, I was in too deep. And I was like, I got to just stick with it. Like, I realized when I was on clinicals, I was like, yep, I won't be doing this career for very long. So I knew right away. Damn. And I don't know what possessed me to go into physical therapy. Like, people say, what made you be a physical therapist? I don't know.
Oh, my mom made me.
I don't know.
That's genuinely. Yeah, like why? Because did you work when you were working your PCA, right?
Yeah.
Did you see a bunch of physical therapists?
No, something? I worked at postpartum labor delivery for 4.5 years.
You were just like, fuck it.
Well, the thing is, I wanted to be an OBGYN. I wanted to go to med school, but as you all know, I went to a black school, the Florida Agriculture Mechanical University, aka FAMU, and I had too much fun, and so I didn't have the grades to go to med school, and I wasn't taking any classes over. Yeah. So I was like, what else is close? Physical therapy, cool.
Well, there's still time. You can go do something.
Ma'am, I already have 4 degrees. It's enough.
I get a wild hair in my ass sometimes, and I'm like, I gotta go back to school.
No, I'm not doing that.
I'm watching Suits. I'm rewatching Suits, which, by the way, I didn't realize so many people hadn't seen Suits.
I haven't seen it. How many seasons is it?
There's like 8 seasons, but that was one of the best shows on USA. It's like those. Did you ever watch cable drama shows? Mm-mm. Okay, do you remember like Psych and Monk and Burn Notice? Any of those shows? Yes. Okay, that kind of vein of drama where it's like not really drama because every episode is like there's not a bunch of cliffhangers and shit. Right. Like everything wraps up really nicely. Mm-hmm. Okay, that is what Suits is, but lawyers.
Right. Because he just has like a photographic memory and all that crap.
Yeah, all that to say, every time I watch an episode, I'm like, I can go to law school. I could do it. I could be a lawyer.
No, listen, law school's a lot of reading.
Oh, and I don't want to, and I feel like every lawyer I know is actually miserable.
I think so too. I think they get into profession, they're like, this is not what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, but I just, every time I see an episode, I'm like, I could do it.
Yeah, no. I mean, I have my MBA and I want to do some business stuff with that, but yeah, I knew right away. As soon as I got to my first clinical, I was like, this is not what I want to do, but I'm in too deep, so I have no choice. That's why I went back to school so quickly. After I graduated, really? I went back and got my MBA 2 years later.
The last couple of weeks at work, I've been having this conversation with myself, which is I genuinely like my job, which is nice.
That's nice.
I just wish I got paid what I should be paid to do it. What I believe I should be paid to do it.
And see, I'm the opposite. Even if I got paid what I would like to and desire to, I would still hate it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just in a season of burnout.
Yeah, you've also been in it for a lot longer than I have.
Yeah, and too, there's other things that have gone on that have caused my disdain for this profession. And it's not the patients. We always say this. It's never the patients. It's the leadership. It's the other bureaucracy bull crap that you have to go through in order to survive in this business, unfortunately.
Yeah,
but
that comes with the job.
Yeah. But other than that, I mean, it was a great week. Thank God. All my patients were really nice.
Perfect.
Nobody died.
Isn't that nice when that happens?
It is, because it doesn't put you in a crazy headspace.
Oh my God. I forgot to tell you about this.
Okay.
This is important.
I was going to say, should this be on record or off the record?
Yeah, I'm just going to hold on. Let me make sure I'm omitting all the things that I need to omit.
I love how you can do that before you start talking.
I heard about a nurse whose patient was not doing very well. Mm-hmm. Like, we're talking like VTAC, in and out.
About to go to Jesus.
Another nurse, she is not by her patient at all. She's like thotting and bopping over at the nurse's station. Another nurse walks by and is like, hey, your patient's heart rate is between 48 and 50. What's going on with them? And she's like, ugh, just very flippant about it. So the nurse gets upset because she's like, I took care of him the other day. What's going on? Did y'all withdraw care? And she's like, no, they don't know what's going on. Just like very flippant about this patient. Ow. Another nurse sends a text message to that initial nurse who showed the concern, and it was we'll call her, like, I don't know,
Becky.
I don't know. Becky's patient is the one who's dying.
Yeah.
This nurse sends the other nurse a picture. It's a screenshot of Becky's Snapchat. Becky has taken a mirror selfie, and she's like, patient, like all of these things coded 10 times, da 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 da. Just all these things that are wrong, keep you updated. Okay.
In real time.
In real time. Anyway, shit pops off, patient codes, ends up passing, long day, whatever.
Jesus, fix it.
Becky updates Snapchat. Mm-hmm. It's a picture in front of the morgue, and it says update.
And when that person gets fired, I don't feel bad for
y'all.
I don't feel bad for you.
What is wrong with people?
So insensitive. Like you need not to be in the profession.
You had one fucking job to keep that man alive, and you
clearly kept your followers updated.
Whoever that was, wherever that was, allegedly that happened, but
yeah, wherever you heard that story from, that's crazy.
So I'm just saying, stop fucking. If you work in healthcare, stop Snapchatting. Stop putting your life on social media. Stop stop being insensitive. Do your job. Go home.
Like I know for me personally, well, not personally, professionally, because at the hospital that you work at, that I used to work at, that I no longer work at, my job and responsibility as pretty much like the ECMO program manager for Rehab was to collect data, right? Mm-hmm. And to do education and all that kind of stuff. So I had to record certain sessions because, we would send it to the physicians, receiving hospitals that they were getting lung transplants and all that kind of stuff, because they needed to see that they're actually walking, moving, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And so the only person that I would send that information to was the main physician who did, ECMO and all that kind of stuff and coordinated that stuff. But even though I had those videos and stuff like that, I never shared that stuff on social media because we either could get either a verbal or written that, hey, can I, take this picture of you or this video or whatever the case may be. I'll blot out your face. Because, even you were in some of the trainings as well, too, where there were like black circles over the patient's face and stuff and any kind of like identifying information, medical record numbers and stuff like that. But that stayed within the actual hospital itself. So even if it was like on my personal cell phone, like it was not distributed as like, oh, y'all, look what I was able to do and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, I think people have to be very careful with what you share about your job because this world that we live in with regard to like social media influencers and stuff like that, like you as a healthcare clinician, you're not an influencer. And it's very different because you see these physicians like, what's her name? There's Dr. Sloan, MD. She's an orthopedic surgeon, black orthopedic surgeon. Amazing, phenomenal, right? Then there's another lady spine doc. She's a neurosurgeon. She's amazing.
I like
but
Dr.
she's not,
Darian.
Dr. Darian?
Yeah,
Who's Dr. Darian?
he's this black emergency medicine doctor.
Oh, cool.
He's on Good Morning America sometimes.
Even like, what's his name? Dr. Glock or something, like glaucoma
Dr.
something.
Glock.
Whatever his name, but he's an ophthalmologist, and so but they share their content not of actual patients. Yeah. Like they're just sharing their experience. Like, oh, here's a MRI from this patient. Well, this is the case or whatever. But you're not sharing pertinent information. But when you're doing stuff like that, and you're just like, oh, keep you updated, like.
But also, so your patient's actively dying, and you had time to go run to the bathroom, take the selfie, make a caption, post it.
And you're on the clock.
And you're on the be sensitive.
Like, be understanding that somebody's family member is actively dying or has actively died. And you're just like, I'm making this about me to put it on TikTok for views.
I'm like, also, it's not funny. You're making light of a situation that's not fucking funny.
No, I mean, we don't laugh at death. We laugh off to keep from crying. Okay. We laugh at just some of the things that happen as a result of death. But we're not like, oh, screw this motherfucker, we don't care. Like, what?
I would never say that on the podcast.
No. Like, we don't say that in real life. Or at least I don't.
Yeah, I would never say that in real life
No. Either. I mean, what we have said before, this patient looks like they appear to be suffering. Yeah. They need to go to Jesus. That is not us wishing death on them. We're just like, we want the agony and pain to stop.
Yeah, shit ain't right.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But anyway... Yeah, that really irked my spirit this week.
Listen, there has been some other stories. We're going to talk about that in Rehab Corner. But let's get on into this show. I'll tell you what's not dead. American tennis players. Okay? Namely, Coco Gauff.
I love that girl.
Woo-hoo! Congratulations to Coco Gauff. She is now the 2023 USA champion, US Open champion. For tennis.
I also love that she posted that video of her dancing when she was little there at the US Open. I can't imagine what it takes to be a professional athlete, especially someone who isn't on a team sport.
True. Because you just got to rely on yourself.
Yeah, exactly. And she did so well.
She did. And she's only 19.
A child.
Literally.
A child. Yeah. She would think West 6th Street is for adults. That's how old
Well, she still probably can't even rent a car right now with her parents' insurance.
I know. Insane. She played awesome, beautifully. I was so happy for her. Did you hear how loud the stadium was when she won? It was insane.
I think the world was rooting for her, honestly. So I felt bad for her opponent, but whatever.
I was thinking about that too, but she gave her a little hug.
Well, first of all, her opponent thought that she won after the first set, and she was just like, oh. And I'm like, bitch, you got 2 more sets to go. What are you doing?
Be fucking for real.
Right. But I think that's amazing because Coco Gauff reminds me so much of Venus.
I thought you were going to say of yourself.
No. I am not that athletic.
Like, how?
No, I am not that athletic. I'm not athletic at all right now.
I really thought you were going to draw some similarities.
No, definitely not. I was definitely not going to make it about me. Absolutely not. Nothing about Coco and I are the same, probably except our hair maybe, but hers look better than mine because mine looks like a 2-year-old. Anyway, but no, she just reminds me so much of Venus Williams, and I loved how much she... references those two, like Venus and Serena Williams. And even Serena posted on her story, like congratulating her and everything like that. And in her close relationship with Naomi Osaka, because what I saw was that she is the 5th American who has actually won the US Open. And she's the youngest who has won it since Serena won in 2001. Wow. So like Venus won the US Open twice. I think Serena won either 5 or 6 times. Sloane Stephens won once or twice. And now Coco Gauff has won. So it's amazing that all of them are black women.
I love that her name is Coco.
Yeah. I absolutely love that. And her parents, I'm quite sure, have sacrificed so much.
Was it in New York? Is that why everyone was there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because
Yeah,
everyone was there
New
for
York.
Fashion Week.
Yes.
I saw all the girlies there hanging out.
Yeah, it was
rooting for Coco.
I love that she won, and that people. She even said too, like people rooted her, like doubted her and said that she would never make it. And I'm just like, damn, y'all, she's 19. Like, why are we being so negative about a 19-year-old who's just trying to be out here and making it? And I love the response that she gave about pressure. They were asking her, I think it was after the semifinals, and they were just like, oh, well, do you feel a lot of pressure, to win and everything? She was like, honestly, no. She was like, tennis is not real pressure. She was like, there are people out there that are trying to feed their families and make it through it. And I said, see, this is what I'm talking about. Well-rounded. This girl got home training.
Gen Z's gonna do some shit.
They're gonna save the world. They're absolutely going to save the world. Well, you're a part of that. I don't know how much you're going to do, but...
Not me.
Yeah.
I'm going to usher in a new
era.
I'll be like, y'all are doing great. I'll project manage Gen Z.
you're
like, you guys are really on top of it.
I love that. Well,
yeah, it's a great weekend for sports because I don't know if I've mentioned it yet, but UT won against Alabama.
I think you mentioned that once or twice.
I probably will say it 6 more times.
Yeah. I think, what's his name? Nick Saban is in a rebuilding year because didn't he lose a lot of seniors?
No one cares.
No. I was gonna say that he's in the same situation, almost kind of like Bill Belichick, where he kept winning all the time. I'm like, let somebody else win. Yeah, we know you can win.
It's honestly time, and he, what he did do, which I'm sure it's very hard to be at a program like Alabama where everyone just expects you to win and dominate, and been doing it for so long.
Yeah.
And then when you're the team that comes in and fucks it all up, everyone's just like, what the hell? Especially there because they're all racist and crazy in Alabama.
That's very true.
Allegedly. Just
but factually,
the climate, not necessarily every individual person, but during the which I do still think Nick Saban made some kind of deal with the devil. I don't know, shit ain't right over there. But during the press conference,
he has full control.
The boys were sitting there giving their interviews, and they're about to get up, and they just look. I'm sorry, these kids, they're kids. These are kids playing sports, and they just look sad. It's so sad when they're just they're all
because they're there to make the school money. Can you honestly? Do you know how much money these kids bring in Alabama just from paraphernalia alone?
Insane.
And I pray that now that these kids are able to actually capitalize and now get money as for their likeness and their image and stuff, that they are compensated appropriately, like how we see Angel Reese and Flagey and everybody else. And I just feel like y'all bring probably billions of dollars into this school, and y'all don't get to profit off of it.
And the fact that at that level they still have to go and do press after a game is insane to me because I'm like, you guys are 20 years old. Dumb. It's so, I hate it. But they were about to get up and he was like, no, I'm so proud of both of them. They did a great job. This is, you guys are still you're one of the best teams in America. This was just a hard game because again, they're kids playing sports.
Yeah. What's the same thing with Gino and UConn, the women's basketball team, where you can't expect UConn women to win all the time. It has to be someone else's turn.
Yeah.
And if you are a true fan of the team and of the program, you're going to be with them when they lose and when they win. Look at Dallas Cowboy fans. I mean, y'all been losing for forever. And they still they going to win this year.
It's the boys.
It's been 20 years and y'all still ain't won.
For the boys.
You got to be loyal,
Yeah.
So that's amazing. So congratulations to UT. And
that's the second time. I got at least 3 more in this episode.
Jesus, please don't.
Come on.
I cannot. Well, I'll tell you what else with regard to no, I don't want to go there. That's going to be a little bit extra.
Okay.
I'll tell you about friendships. We were talking about Coco Gauff and her friendship with Naomi Osaka and the support that she gets, as well as Serena Williams. What were you telling me about Kylie and Jordan?
Oh yeah, speaking of people in New York over the weekend, everyone's in New York for Fashion Week. People are rekindling friendships.
No pun intended.
No pun intended. I need to talk about how Kylie and Jordan Woods were hanging out at New York Fashion Week. Jordan.
What is wrong with you?
Baby, they drug your name through the fucking dirt. Do I need to replay you the episode?
Do we need to replay the episode of the Red Table Talk?
Went to Jada. You went and talked to Jada and said,
the Smiths had to save you, girl.
Come on. What is going on?
It's stupid.
I think Kylie is returning to this King Kylie era. Everyone's talking about it. She was a Tumblr girly. This is such
Wasn't Tumblr for porn?
Initially, no.
Oh, okay.
But it did become that, yes,
Gotcha.
until it wasn't anymore. This is such a deep Kardashian cut. I need you to come on a journey with me.
Jesus.
Okay, so
please don't go too deep.
In the times when Kim was it was Kim, she was on the rise. She hadn't met Kanye yet. She wasn't the Kim, the fashion girly. She was just Kim, the famous for sex tape girly. Kylie was getting more famous. Kendall was kind of becoming a model, but Kylie was like all on Tumblr. She had like the blue hair. She was posting. Everyone knew she was friends with, Jaden Smith and all these other famous people. She was kind of just like this weird girl who posted on Tumblr all the time and was famous. So she was around famous people. Mm-hmm. That was like about the time when she started kind of getting her own show, Life of Kylie. That didn't go anywhere. She was dating the Tyga, who was a lot older than her. Mm-hmm. And that's when she was like, this is the same vibe she's giving now that she's like out with Timothée Chalamet and all this stuff, because they were seen making out at the Beyonce concert. People thought they were dating. I guess now it's confirmed. I still think it's for publicity, but whatever. I know you're very interested, but it seems like she's returning to this like 15-year-old time of her life when she was just like,
footloose and fancy free.
Yeah, and like actively wanting to be famous and low-key black, but we'll see.
Okay. How does this go back to Jordan?
That's when she was the best. She was really good friends with Jordan. Okay. This is how it overlaps. All that to say. That was the time when she was best friends with Jordan. Everyone's confused about the Timothée Chalamet of it all because that's who she's allegedly dating now. But I'm like, this was the time when she was doing all this stuff. Timothy makes sense if she was in that time of her life, and she was best friends with Jordan. So I think it's all coming full circle. I don't know what the fuck Jordan Rhodes is doing, because if anyone treated me like that and made my life a living fucking hell for so long publicly and made me look like a fucking adulterer, I don't think I'd be friends with them again.
Yeah, I think no longer being friends with someone is okay. I think that process of no longer being friends when it's time for both of y'all to move on is okay. What's not okay is for you to drag this person months after alleged incidents have happened and you make a whole show about it.
Yeah.
And then this girl has to go on a press tour and clear her own name. Mm-hmm. And then you're like, oh yeah, I saw you at Fashion Week. Let's be friends again.
She was getting
bitch, what?
Death threats. People were threatening her and her family.
With a known cheater who's still cheating, allegedly.
And I'm just like, okay, and whatever. I'm very interested to see what happens. Not that it will be anything of substance, but...
You got one time to play in my face, and you won't ever play in it again.
It's just I never thought, I really didn't think.
Once we are no longer friends, we are no longer friends.
Because after Jordan and her broke up, their friendship, Jordan went and started being one of the black girlies and was with...
maybe she needed that.
Maybe. She was with Lori Harvey and Ryan Destiny and Normani.
Centennial event? What do they call it?
Your Saturn return?
No, it's a centennial event or something like that. You're some kind of event that happens in your life that changes the trajectory of your life. And blah, blah,
maybe
blah,
I thought this was it, but I listened to this podcast the other day that was a deep dive into basically remember when Kylie was on Forbes for being the first self-made billionaire, and everyone was like, you weren't fucking self-made, but it was a whole big thing.
Exactly.
They did this whole thing because allegedly the numbers for her company were inflated and it wasn't pulling in as much money as it was, but it sold with people thinking it made that much money. And so Forbes did the interview with her before that cover came out, and every question they asked her, Kylie, she's like, Mom, like Chris is just there answering every question because she doesn't know shit about her fucking company.
No, because her name's just on it.
No, this bitch doesn't know shit. She's just there. I don't know. So all that to say, nothing's real. I don't trust anything. I just didn't think they'd ever be photographed together, seen together, whatever.
Listen, once you choose a side with me when it comes to friendship, family, relationship, whatever, professionally, you better make sure you never need me again. Because I can guarantee you'll never get access to me again, ever. I don't care if you're on fire. Sorry.
Not when they're on fire.
What the man said at the hotel? It's above me now. I can't help. There's nothing I can do about it. It's above me now. You better stand 10 toes down on the decisions that you make when you detach from me, because I promise you it's going to be forever.
Damn.
That's what I'm saying. And I still wish you well.
Yeah.
But you won't ever have access to
me. But not next to me.
Don't go back to people that hurt you. Just don't do that.
Don't go back to people that hurt you.
Speaking of people who are hurting, Danny Matheson, we got to talk about it.
Yo.
So if y'all don't know, Danny Matheson,
Kelso. Not Kelso.
Not
what was
Kelso.
His name on that 70s show?
It's not Fez. It's not Kelso. It's not Eric. Oh,
Hyde?
Lord.
Oh, shit.
The hell is his name? Anyway, he played the guy with the curly hair and the glasses on that 70s show. What was his character's name? Yeah, it wasn't Eric. It wasn't...
Hyde. Stephen Hyde.
Hyde. Okay. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So he played the character most notably known on that 70s show. He was actually just recently sentenced to 30 years in prison for the sexual assault of 2 women. And first of all, I never thought I'd live to see a white man get 30 years in prison for rape, because so many other white men have been accused and convicted of rape, and it's like, oh, probation. So it's amazing that this famous guy ended up getting 30 years. But anyway, which he deserves. I mean, that's what the jury said that he deserved. And hopefully that is somewhat of justice for these victims, unfortunately, of his sexual assault. But more notably, Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kutcher had to...
I think she's still Kunis.
Oh, Mila Kunis. Okay. Well, Kunis Kutcher.
But they are married.
They are married with kids.
With kids.
They basically did like a character letter. Remember we talked about...
These character letters are
a couple of weeks ago with Mario and Iggy Azalea, who did character letters for Tory Lanez. And so, of course, they were like, oh, well, these character letters were only supposed to be seen by the judge. It's an open case, but no. But yeah, I think with bringing...
Did you read the character letter?
Why would I?
Y'all, you would have thought this man was running for president.
They probably didn't even write it. Their publicist probably wrote it.
Well, and I did read Ashton Kutcher's character letter, and one of the last lines was basically saying, like, to put him away, to put Danny Matheson away, would be to leave his daughter without a parent, and that's an injustice in itself.
He should have thought about that before.
What do you think these women are living with? You raped them.
Exactly.
And
you didn't think about your daughter.
Not only did you
rape
them, but these women he was a part of the Church of Scientology, and so were they. After this, when they came out about it, they were threatened, and they were just, people would do horrible things to them. They were coming after them. They were posting pictures of these women, posting like they were giving themselves to sex work as these. It's just like horrible shit.
Yeah, allegedly. Mm-hmm.
Allegedly,
horrible.
Yeah. So, yeah, people are not taking kindly to the character letters.
So here, I do want to play devil's advocate real quick for the character letters, because here's what I do understand. And I think a lot of times we don't take that into consideration when crimes are being committed, right? So these people, people who commit crimes are the uncles, the fathers, the sisters, the brothers, the mothers, whoever, of friends, family members, whatever, of people who have nothing to do with these cases. And I think oftentimes there is no grace, unfortunately, for people who commit crimes, because it's like, well, no, I only know this side of this person. Mm-hmm. I don't know this other side. Like, let's say, God forbid, you were to go and murder 27 people. And I'll be like, well, you know what, Your Honor, I definitely think she had the capacity to do it. She did some sus stuff on the podcast.
I just never thought.
But I didn't see that in her. Like, she was always nice to me. And I trusted her at my house. She didn't have any guns at her house. I don't know, Your Honor, but I think people are just like, no, you shouldn't take up for them. And I'm like, I don't think character letters are necessarily taking up for the person, but it's just them sharing their perspective of the other side of the person that nobody else probably got a chance to see.
And I call bullshit on these fucking character letters.
Well, yeah, it's going to be null and void, unfortunately, because you committed a whole ass crime, like, twice.
And I'm just like, when you rewatch first of all, Ashton Kutcher was a menace to society.
Wait a minute.
He did
slander.
He did some wacky pataki.
Wait, are you talking about for punked, or are you talking about just in real life?
Just in real life. The things he did to women, and allegedly, even when he was with them, like, there's horrible things he did. Also, do you remember he would say, like, about Hillary Duff, he was like, oh yeah, she's one we're all waiting to turn 18, just like da-da-da-da. Him and Danny Matheson would be in interviews talking about the wild shit they would do together. I think they were horrible together. So I'm like, you knew, 100% you knew exactly the kind of person he was, because that's the kind of person you were.
Ew.
And even, I don't know, which is hard because they're your friend, but also it's like, they're your friend and you've seen them do crazy shit. So I don't know. At this point, do I think I would write a character letter for anyone? Probably not.
You wouldn't write a character letter for me?
If I wasn't famous, yeah, I would.
Yeah, if I'm famous, I'm not getting involved.
I'm not writing shit for anybody. I'm not. And you have to respect and believe that. And I will do everything I can to support you from behind the scenes, but I refuse.
Here's my thing. I think it's pointless for character letters when you commit crimes, simply because the judge has already made up their mind. Yeah. And so he still got 30 years. What was he going to get 50 and then all of a sudden you made 20 come down? No. He was always going to get 30 years.
I'll be a job reference.
That's it.
And especially with like sexual crimes.
That stuff I don't play with.
I don't know.
That's a zero tolerance for me.
Because that's not like a, like vehicular manslaughter or DWI. Like, those are different crimes. I'm not writing a fucking character letter.
Yeah,
anyway, all that to say, people are upset. So then one of the victims who had dated Danny Matheson and then he sexually assaulted her, posted on Instagram. It's a screenshot of the news clipping about Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis's character letters, and she just goes on to say like, "Hey Ashton, like don't forget that I know everything." Ooh. That I know all the secrets he's holding for you, the reasons you would be writing this letter the way you wrote it. And don't forget on whatever day I was there when you made the call to him. I heard everything. Okay, well, the day she references is the day that Ashton Kutcher's ex-girlfriend was murdered and went missing and was murdered. So then everyone's like, what the hell is she talking about? Yeah. So now, because he did not murder her, the person who murdered her was arrested. This ex-girlfriend of Ashton Kutcher's. Mm-hmm. And the whole story was that Ashton Kutcher went over to her house. They had a date. She wouldn't open the door. He saw wine stains on the floor, which he thought was weird, but he just left because no one opened the door. But now everyone's thinking, especially since she said that he did go in, he did find the body. He left and just started calling like Danny Matheson and his team and everybody because he was like, what do I do? Mm-hmm. And then just never said anything until the cops came to find him. That's the new conspiracy theory.
Hollywood is a weird place. That's all I'm saying.
Hollywood is a weird place. Do not write a character letter for anyone unless you're just 100% sure.
Like, okay, unless it's like some other type of accentuating circumstance, but don't do it for people who commit crimes.
Maybe like a blue collar crime.
Right.
Or is that white collar?
It's white.
White collar. What's tax evasion?
That's
and
white
embezzlement.
collar.
White collar. I may say like,
there's no such thing as blue collar crime.
That's like murder.
No, it's called equality.
it's called I have to pay my rent.
Balance in society. That's what it's called.
White collar crimes, maybe you could get past me.
I'll tell you what is a white collar crime though, and you may not think it is, but I absolutely think it's a white collar crime. The White House's hip hop celebration. Okay. Yo, we got to talk about it. I'm
so glad you brought
this past
up.
Weekend, the White House, the Biden and Harris.
It was Kamala.
Well, that's what I'm about to get to. So
Harris.
They call it the White House's hip hop celebration in honor of 50 years of hip hop.
When has the White House ever celebrated black people?
Never. But here's the thing. Not even when Obama was in office.
Exactly.
So the problem with the hip hop celebration is Kamala was out there like the unrhythmed auntie looking stupid. And I feel like we keep saying this on this podcast. We have asked multiple times for this same administration, pass a law to protect black people or make it illegal to kill black people unarmed, right? Like you did with the Asian community, right? They're like, fuck you, we're not going to do that. We're going to give you Maya Angelou on a corner. Okay. We're asking again. Nope, we're not going to do that. We're going to give you Juneteenth. Okay, we're asking again. Nope, we're not going to do that. We're going to give you Harriet Tubman on a $20 bill, which she's still on a $20 bill. Then we ask you again. It's like a
brainstorm list they had, and they're ticking them off to see how far they can get before they actually have to do something.
And then they're like, we're saying it again. Hey, stop killing us in the street. Make a law, blah, blah, blah. We're going to give you a barbecue on the White House lawn. And I'm just like, what about this celebration makes you feel like it? To me, it was like Walmart doing Juneteenth stuff.
It was blackface coded.
It was definitely I hated it.
I hate to say it.
I hated it.
I've never had secondhand embarrassment so bad watching Kamala Harris try to dance.
It was horrible.
It looked like if a company picnic. Okay, this is what it was giving. A company who had just gotten in trouble for some racist ass shit.
Yes.
The next year, Juneteenth was like, let's throw a cookout.
Let's go all out.
Let's go all out. Yeah. We're going to have black artists come. Mm-hmm. We're going to invite all the blacks. And and it's just like all the white, like senior management standing there like, you guys having fun at our black bar? It was so strange to watch. Lil Wayne performed.
It was just stupid. Like, again, you mean to tell me that you had a committee that took time out of their day while they were on the clock to plan and execute a party, but somehow you and Biden can't come together to create a law to protect black people in this country?
Also, I know Kamala Harris is black.
Allegedly. But it's just not, it didn't feel authentic to her. It didn't feel, if Obama had done this, I feel like it would have gone over way different. It seemed like she was like Hillary Clinton.
Yes.
Like it was like a bodysuit and it was really Hillary Clinton underneath all of it.
Obama did the whole time he was in office, he was like, I am part of the culture. Especially, now he's like, I'm part of the culture. My wife is part of the culture. Mm-hmm. We're doing all these things. We have these famous black friends. We're always hanging out with them.
We're friends with Oprah.
Thank you. This felt so weird and strange.
And forced.
And unnecessary.
Yeah.
For what reason?
They're already on tour doing it enough. They didn't need you.
You should have just co-signed some other
lawn.
black person who was going to throw a party for the 50th anniversary of hip hop.
I'm saying pass a law. That's how you help. That's how you celebrate black people in this country, by passing laws that protect us.
You're like
we've been asking you to do.
Hip hop. There's a lot of talk about weed in hip hop. Let's decriminalize marijuana nationally
at the federal level.
Something like that.
And not only just decriminalize it, get these black men and women who have been in prison for 20 years over a dime bag. Let's get them out and expunge their records.
I think I was just most upset because it just looked ridiculous.
She just had no rhythm, and I'm just like, what the fuck are you doing?
Wow.
This is why nobody takes her seriously. I can't be on your side, Kamala. I can't do it.
They chose the worst clip.
You shouldn't have done it. We go back to the H&M with the little monkeys on the blackboard. Like, who was on the committee that said this was okay?
I want to know. Do you think this idea was presented to her, or that she was like, we're doing it, we have to, we're running with it, and people were like, I don't think
she did it at all.
People were like, maybe, and she was like, I want Lil Wayne there.
No, I don't think she planned that at all. I think it was because half the black people on her team left anyway, so it wasn't her. It was definitely a bunch of white people that was like, you know what, I think would be a great idea.
It'll be a hit with the blacks.
We're going into like re-election, so we need them, and this was your opportunity to be black and show your blackness, and you showed it in the worst way.
It
was stupid. It was dumb. It was dumb as fuck. Pass a law to protect black people in this country like you did the Asians. We've been asking for that for years, I feel like. And you were in a position to do it, and you're just like, nah, we're going to just shake our ass on the White House lawn. And
then, I don't know.
It's weird.
It was weird to watch.
Well,
as soon as I saw it, I was like, ick. It's giving weird vibes.
Well, speaking of protection, okay, we got to talk about this real quick, because I don't want to dwell on it too much, because I don't want to get my pressure up. So I don't know if you saw last week, there was a young lady who was out and about, thought and bopping in these streets, minding her black ass business. A black man comes up to her, asks her for her number. She says no. He hits her in the face with a fucking brick. She goes viral because she's literally, you can actively see the side of this girl's face swelling as she's talking. And she's crying, and just like all of these black men are standing here, and not a single one of them jumped in or even tried to protect me at any point in time. And it's at nighttime, and it was just absolutely insane. And so social media has kind of been divided to a degree, but I feel like more divided on the fact that there are some black women who are coming out saying, well, you know, if you take the advice of your fathers and your brothers, instead of putting them in positions to have to protect you and lose their lives. And I'm like, since when are we blaming women for just going out into the world, existing and getting brutalized by men for saying no?
No.
Like, who the fuck raised you? Bitch.
I shouldn't be afraid to pump gas at night, to walk alone, to go sit alone, to do anything, because I think someone's going to fucking assault me if they don't like what I have to say, especially if it's not something aggressive towards them.
I'm saying no.
I'm not giving you my phone number.
You say, hey, beautiful, let me get your number. No, thank you. Well, fuck you, bitch, your ugly ass. Whoa. You asked me for my number.
True.
Like, dude, and me being out and about in the streets at night does not mean that I am somehow not protecting myself as a woman. Like, I can go out at night and do what I need to do. Like, a society should not be built on the misogyny of protecting men in this country who do not know how to control their fucking emotions. Mm-hmm. You mean to tell me that your sister and your mother don't deserve to go out when the sun go down? So what are we all now living in sundown fucking towns? From men? Also, what the fuck is wrong with people?
I am used to the idea of getting like not yelled at, but just like negatively, like, oh, so you think you're better, da 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 da. The fact that you think you can hit me with a fucking brick, what is wrong with people?
That man better be lucky she didn't have a gun on her. Because if she would have shot and killed you, she would have been rightly justified.
So now I can't even leave the house at night by myself.
But I do get it where some men who are around who don't want to get involved because there is this you don't know how crazy people really are, right? And so if you jump in and help a stranger, we've seen that a bunch of times when people jump in and help a stranger and then they end up dying. Like, I don't want to lose my life trying to protect you either because I don't really even know
Everyone
you.
just act right. Just
that's what I'm
act
saying.
right.
Like, this young lady, she said on social media, she said it so eloquently, like, why do men expect kindness from women, but you're not expected to give it in automatically? Like,
why was
do you
that
think
your go-to?
Right. Why couldn't you just say, okay, and walk away? You had to pick up a whole fucking brick, even if she was like, hell no, I ain't giving you my phone with your raggedy ass shoes.
You don't want her anyway. She sounds wild.
That doesn't equal picking up a brick and hitting this woman across her fucking face.
That's scary, dude.
Like, this is why I will forever carry my mouse tool on me. I don't play with people.
We used to be out,
and I shouldn't have to carry it around.
And men would come up to the group, and Megan, oh God, it's my favorite thing. She'd be like, we'd all be dancing, and he'd start talking. She'd be like, no, like screaming, no, stop talking, no, because these men are fucking crazy.
They just don't like, and it's not. Somebody telling you no is not rejection. It's not rejection. Leading you on and then saying no is rejection.
Also,
if you offer
You're
me
fine.
a piece of gum and I say no, that is not rejection. That's me making a choice to say, I don't want any gum right now. I don't want your number right now because you don't know what I'm going through.
Yeah. Also, guess what? The way I respond is because I've had years of men doing this to me, and sometimes they get crazy or annoying or don't take a hint. So I have to just be like, no, yelling at you to get the fuck away from me. And sorry to you, but that's because all your little friends have ruined it for you.
And you shouldn't be, and women should not be feared into interacting with men, because they're afraid that you're going to get hit in the face with a fucking brick. Like, you should be able to take no as the response and move the hell on. Like, I don't understand how we keep saying in this country or in this world that women are emotional. No, we're actually not.
Yeah, and men don't take a hint until there's another man around you. The amount of times I've had to tell my guy friends, like, hey, just talk to me. Hey, pretend to be my boyfriend. Hey, this guy's being weird. And then you'll leave me alone. That's also bullshit. Leave me the fuck alone.
It's crazy that women even have to do shit like that. It's so dumb. I'll tell you what else is dumb. That man needs to be in jail. But speaking of jail, what were you telling me about prisons?
Prison. What?
Or were you talking about
I was
prisons?
saying he needs to go to prison.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, speaking of prison.
Speaking of prisons, Texas prisons are now on lockdown.
Like all of them?
Speaking of prisons again, I'll circle back to that. Did you see that man who escaped from prison?
I did.
In Pennsylvania.
What crime did he commit? Because maybe he need to be out.
No, that man stabbed his girlfriend like 30 times in front of her children.
Okay, no, find him then. He needs to be found.
Where did he escape from? Why can't I remember that information? Doesn't matter.
Well, you know how he probably escaped, because they're short-staffed. Nobody's walking. I'm serious.
Did you see him like crab walk up the prison wall?
I did, and I think that's amazing. That's why they don't want to give
First
people
of all,
outside
an
privileges.
acrobat. Amazing, truly. Also, he's still on the run. Also, only a $10,000 reward.
In this economy?
The man murdered someone and escaped from prison. I would think you'd really want to find him.
You're going to have to up that to $100,000.
Convicted murder from Pennsylvania. His name is Darnello Cavalcante.
For $10,000, and I'm gonna have to, and half of that is taxes. No, you're gonna have to offer $100,000. I ain't saying nothing.
This man, like, it literally looked like a spoof of a movie or something. He just put like hands on one side of the wall, feet on the other. Freaking ninja walked his way up the wall, boop, hopped off, and then has escaped from prison. Ideally, I would say if you can escape from prison, you deserve to be free on some Shawshank shit. But he is a murderer. And he prison, jail immediately.
Wow.
But yeah, isn't that fucking crazy? And they still haven't found him. He's on the run.
Interesting. They're gonna find him.
They have to. It has to be so hard to hide.
El Chapo, they're gonna find him.
It has to be very hard to hide from the authorities these days.
Well, there's too much technology. You know, they have cameras like in Vegas when you go to casinos and stuff that can literally read the serial numbers off of your money and off your credit card in real time. So they're gonna find him. Yes.
All that to say, Texas prisons are on lockdown because supposedly there's been like a crazy increase of drug-related homicides.
Drug-related?
That's what it says.
That sounds
drug-related. And I guess there were, according to what I read, there were 7 drug-related homicides last year. There's already been 16 this year. So all the prisons are on lockdown. There's like 100 prisons in Texas, 129,000-ish inmates. The thing is, like, prison lockdown, you're stuck in that fucking room. You can't leave. You can't talk to anybody. It's insane. And it's also hot. How are they doing this? Why are they doing this? How long are they doing this?
Okay, the conspiracy theorist in me tells me that this is a crock of shit. Let me tell you why. The reason why they're trying to say it's drug-related homicide is because most of these prisons are probably allegedly privatized. Okay, and at the base minimum, they don't have to do a lot of shit that other federally funded prisons have to do, like keep them alive, right? And the reporting on it. People kill people in prisons all the time. That's not a secret. Like, that's been from the beginning of time. You put men and women in boxes and in cages like animals, and you treat them like they are animals. And
expect them to act like decent human beings.
Exactly. And expect them not to feel backed into a corner. They develop these gangs and all of these different cliques and whatnot. But also, too, ever since COVID has happened, the conditions of how they keep prisoners is completely subpar. And it's ridiculous. Remember the man in Georgia that died because he was eaten by bed bugs?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, that should have never fucking happened. Then you have some of the other prisons like in Louisiana that had no fucking AC during the hottest times of the year.
In a swamp, you got me fucked up.
Like, that's like, okay, they committed a crime. I totally understand. But if you gonna keep these people alive and you ain't gonna just shoot them in the back of the head like, what they call it? What you call it style? What they call it? Assassination style? Whatever.
No, they call it.
What is it called?
Oh my God. Nope, we can't do this. I need to figure out. They call it execution style.
Execution style, right. If you're not just going to kill everybody and call it a day, then you need to treat these people with some type of respect. They get 3 meals a day. Why can't they be clean? Why can't they have a clean living area?
Rehabilitate them.
But when you privatize prisons, you don't give a shit about rehabilitation. You care about making money.
See, my mind went to understaffed. I was like, ooh, these prisons are understaffed and some shit's about to pop off.
That too, and there's probably some other stuff that's going on. First of all, I think it should be illegal on a federal level in the United States to privatize any prison. There's no reason why, if they were convicted of crimes, if these men and women were convicted of crimes in this country, and they had a trial before in the presence of their peers, there's no reason why now a company should have to take over or gets the opportunity to take over and then declare what is considered to be humane.
Yep.
You were convicted of a federal crime or a state crime. Those are the people who should be caring for you at the end of the day. You shouldn't have some billionaire tycoon that gets to decide, well, you make 2 cents a day and we don't give a shit if you don't have air. You committed a crime and we just gonna call it a day. The state turned you over to us. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? Then when you commit a crime, you want to be pardoned and get character letters. Man.
Absolutely not. Yeah, my mind went to understaffed, which is, hello, you're telling me your jail was staffed and this man escaped by just climbing over a wall? There's no way.
Actually there is.
Did someone just plop over a wall?
Yeah, because you just don't care. Here's the thing. When people are overworked and underpaid, they don't overlook a lot of shit.
That is true.
We see it in healthcare all the time. Look at the nurse the story that you heard at whatever hospital that was with the Snapchatty. You know what I mean?
Like, not me.
She's like, it's not my business.
That's very true.
It's not my business.
Wow.
But yeah, so even in Louisiana, apparently, allegedly, they were in Angola. They were
Angola.
Yeah, I think that's where it was.
Isn't that in Africa?
No, that is in Africa, but I think it's the Angola prison or something like that. Look that up real quick. Don't make me look like an asshole or sound stupid.
You're like, yeah, in Djibouti.
Think it was like
why is Louisiana State Penitentiary called Angola? See? That's racially coded, but okay.
Well, Louisiana's black.
The Angola plantation was named for the country on the west coast of southern Africa, from which many of its slaves had come. It contained a building called the Old Slave Quarters.
It's all rooted in slavery. Anyway, so the Angola prison.
They're like, what are we going to call this building? They're like, hey, where are y'all from? They're like, Angola. Great.
We're going to steal that name, colonize that name.
I hate this.
Everything is founded on white supremacy and slavery. It just is. Anyway, and so they basically were putting like teenage or children who had committed crimes, they were putting them in these adult prisons. And this prison apparently, allegedly, also too didn't have AC, I think. But anyway, they, I guess the Louisiana government has now not taken over, but has mandated that they remove all of these children from these maximum security prisons.
From maximum security.
Yes, by September 15th. They have
that means
September 15th.
You did the worstest shit you could do. And they're like, oh, we got to lock you up in the most locked up way.
Here's the thing. I think even children who commit crimes and are charged as adults should not be allowed to enter adult prisons until they are deemed act like their age is actually an adult. You should not have 15-year-olds in maximum security prisons with grown adults. They should have to go to juvenile until they are 18, and then once they are 18 or 21 or whatever the legal age is, whatever, then they should go to those maximum security prisons. But there's no reason why 13 and 14-year-olds should be locked up with 50-year-old fucking men and women.
That's asking for trouble.
That's just stupid. Anyway. I'll tell you what else is very interesting. Apparently there's a hurricane that's coming to the east coast of the United States, more specifically the northeast. It's getting ready to hit, I guess, like New York and Carolinas and all that. And it's a category 5. It's called Hurricane Lee.
Hurricane Lee.
Yeah.
I feel like do we usually have this many hurricanes during hurricane season?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
You just don't ever hear about them because they don't really affect you.
Oh, okay.
But for us Floridians and people who are used to them all the time. Because there's so many of them that's out there and then they end up dissipating, or they're just tropical storms, or they just disappear altogether, or the islands slow them down. The Caribbean slows them down.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder if it'll make it to us. No,
we're too far inland.
Too far out.
Yeah, we're too far inland though. It won't make it to us. But we do want to say prayers up for the people of Morocco. There was an earthquake that actually happened today, or yesterday, I'm sorry. And they said that over 2,000 lives, unfortunately, were lost as a result of this earthquake.
I know. I think I saw that Cristiano Ronaldo opened up his hotel in Morocco to the people who were displaced.
Oh, that's awesome.
Which is what you should do if you have access to things like that, Joel Osteen.
Okay, I'm on the fence about Joel. I'm on the other side of the fence about Joel Osteen.
No.
I'm gonna just tell you why. Because his church was not the only place that people could go to. I'm sorry. There are too many other like in the grand scheme of things, you needed to be able to control crowds, right? Mm-hmm. And on this man's campus, on this church, who were you going to get to secure this building? Because what was going to end up happening was the same thing that happened at the Dome in Louisiana, where people were alleged, they got stuck in the dome. The security was not as great. Number two, then there was some accounts of sexual assault and stuff like that. Exactly. Yeah, so if you do that in that church, then he gets sued because he doesn't have enough security when he let y'all in. Now I get it. For human sake, who gives a shit about the security? But I'm just saying, for Joel Osteen, I don't think people made him out to be this horrible person like, your church was untouched. Yeah, because I locked it.
I think he had more money hidden in the walls and he didn't want people finding
absolutely. It. He was like, not at all. Y'all
he was like, opening myself up.
Because some little kid would have been like, Mommy, what's in this bag?
Another $70,000?
Exactly. But I'm not a Joel Osteen stan. Anyway.
That's weird. I could have pegged you as a Joel Osteen stan.
Definitely not. I like his preaching. I like his teaching.
Preaching and teaching, baby.
Well, he doesn't preach. He definitely teaches. This is my Bible. It's the word of God. I know that's right, Joel. Anyway, speaking of some interesting things, especially that need to stop, gender reveals.
Okay. Unpopular opinion. I don't like a gender reveal.
I hate gender reveals.
Here's why. First of all, a lot of y'all want to have gender reveals on top of baby showers. Why?
You're not getting multiple
gifts. Second of all, a lot of y'all, most of the ones with penises, have the nastiest look on your face when you find out that baby's a girl. And that does not sit right with my spirit.
For me, it's you only have 2 fucking choices. So why do we care?
It's a 50-50 chance.
It's not like, oh my God, is she having a giraffe, an elephant, a rhinoceros? You don't have 17 different options of what the fuck you're going to have.
It's not a faction. This isn't Divergent. You're not revealing a superpower. It's not Harry Potter.
It's a boy or it's a goddamn girl. Who gives a shit?
I need to know when gender reveals became popular.
I don't know, but whoever populated it needs to be unpopulated.
Also, y'all are killing people and starting forest fires and doing crazy shit these days.
More recently, there was this guy who did he was like in a little private plane or whatever, one of those little helicopters, I guess, whatever. Anyway, and the couple, he was flying over the couple's property and pulling out all this pink smoke, and it was obviously a girl, but his plane ended up crashing right after that shit. And I'm like, this man died for some pink smoke? Y'all need to get a fucking life.
This has been 2008. The first recorded gender reveal.
What happened in 2008 as to why that became so popular?
Well, and I'm just like, half of y'all, would you have gender reveals if they weren't popular?
Gender reveals are dumb. If you don't tell me what the hell your baby is, I'm not buying you a gift.
Just have a baby shower. Celebrate a healthy baby. You know what? And it's really fun. If you do like a small little gender reveal with your family, I have nothing wrong with it. It's just these people that do these elaborate things and are visibly upset when they hear the gender of the baby. It makes me so sad.
Well, I think it plays it playing devil's advocate.
Nope, not allowed to.
I definitely think that you have the right to not necessarily be upset, but I think you have the right to be disappointed. Like, damn, we got 4 girls already, and all I wanted was just 1 boy. And it's not to say that you won't love the baby. It's just, damn, I really wanted a boy, or I wanted a girl.
Yeah, but then I have to watch that video back when I'm like 5, and I'm like, oh, my dad was so fucking pissed that I was a girl.
And you teach your child that's life. Sometimes you gotta be pissed that you exist.
I don't know. I just hate that sometimes.
I hate gender reveals because so many people have gotten hurt. Like moms have actually gotten hurt and died during fucking gender reveals, and people are speeding off, crashing into houses, crashing in the car. It's so stupid.
There's an article from The Guardian, and it's titled, "I started the gender reveal party trend and I regret it."
Oh, please. Nobody started that shit.
LOL. I think it's just, I won't say that I hate it. I just think they've gotten out of hand.
I just hate it altogether. You only have 2 options. Why do we care?
I like, you can do the little cake thing. I don't know.
If you ain't got no food, I ain't coming. I'm not gonna play these games. What do you think it is? Wear a blue shirt or a pink shirt. I don't give a fuck what it is.
Yeah. Especially, you let your kid, I keep making these jokes to pregnant people. They'll be like, are you having whatever? And I'm like, oh, how would you know they haven't chosen it yet? It doesn't go over well. Don't do it.
I was going to say, I wouldn't even think to do it.
How are you going to know they haven't let them choose it yet? But yeah, maybe that's people are trying to be like, I'm going to make this baby this gender.
Because they're like non-binary or whatever?
Yeah, I don't know.
I think you can't control DNA to a degree. I don't think
we should start a new, instead of gender reveal, it should just be like, are they going to like peanut M&Ms or regular M&Ms? Other dumb shit that your baby may or may not like.
I'm not coming to that.
Are they gonna like science or art?
I don't even care. Like, oh, we're gonna reveal the name later. I don't give a shit about your dumbass baby's name. I'm sorry, your baby's not dumb. I don't give a shit about your dumbass names for your baby. Just like, why is that a secret? We don't want to show the baby. Who cares?
Of baby names, Rihanna. We now know Rihanna's second baby's name.
What does she have?
Her name is. She had a girl.
Because as we all know, there's only 2. Either a boy or a girl. There's only
2. Yeah, unfortunately,
either a penis or a vagina.
We were not invited to Rihanna's gender reveal. But her new baby's name is Riot Rose.
Is it spelled like a riot?
Riot. 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 Like, that's a riot.
Yeah. I want to know if she spelled it like with a Y or something.
No, it's Riot Rose.
Riot Rose. Interesting. And what is her son's name? Doesn't matter.
RZA?
Oh, like the Wu-Tang Clan?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
RZA and Riot. Oh, that's kind of cool.
Oh, and then Rihanna.
Yeah.
And A$AP Rocky.
And Rakim.
Oh, they got the family bars.
That is cute. That's all ours.
It's not. I mean, the like R's is cute, but what are they like?
My problem with riot is that it sounds like when people from the South are trying to say right, like rot. That's rot.
And it sounds like
you won't take my rots.
Oh, like rots.
Rots.
America rots.
America rots. Rots. Your mother's a billionaire, so you'll have money. Do you think the obsession with babies and gender reveals and baby names is like with the increase of infertility in the last couple of years? And people trying different ways to get pregnant and having trouble getting pregnant? No, I think the rise of gender reveals is everybody trying to upstage each other. It's the same thing with like weddings, how bachelorette parties. People are just trying to be as creative as possible because that's what happened. Social media became a huge thing. And so everybody's trying to upstage the next person to try to make it seem like, oh, they're the original. And I think that's even too with a lot of celebrities, why they don't want to reveal the names of their children or why they have these, extravagant names for their kids because they want their kids to be, I'm one of one. No, you're not. I'm quite sure there's somebody else in this world named Ain't Riot. Nothing special about anybody till there's something to be special, Nothing new is under the sun. No. Like, you're not the only Alyssa in the world. I'm not the only Monica in the world. So. I'm the only Alyssa I care about. I'm the only Monica I care about. There you go. And that should be good enough. Absolutely. Anything else before we get into the Rehab Corner real quick? Oh, the only thing I wanted to talk about was that Texas beat Alabama this week. God, we ending a 21-game home win streak. See, and this is why y'all will never win again because you can't let it go. Texas is back. Hook 'em horns. Thank you.
Anyway, in the rehab corner. Are you watching anything?
Okay.
Other than the goddamn Texas game, we know.
I watched the Texas game. It was very good. I don't know how many times I have to tell you to watch Lioness. Everyone needs to watch it.
Okay.
Zoe is doing her damn thing on that show. And every episode is good.
How many episodes? I mean, how many
8.
seasons?
One season, 8 episodes.
Okay.
It's on Paramount Plus or Paramount if you can get it. But it is such a good show. I'm on the edge of my seat every episode. There's something about military shows, but not like basic training army shows, but like deep ops shit.
Yeah.
We're also much like Suits. I'm like, I could do it. I could be in the fucking military. Someone give me a gun.
You who says hi to everybody? You be made out. Oh, damn it, they made me. Yeah, because you talk too fucking much.
I've made a mistake.
You say hi to too many people. They'll be like, "You're a fucking narc. Get away from me."
Okay, well.
So what club is cool here?
Can you say that?
Can you tell me the directions to the nearest crack house? That'd be you. You be telling everybody's business. Nobody would ever believe that you work for the DEA.
I could be cool and calm and collected. Anyway,
no, you can't.
It's really good, and the season's kind of winding down. I think there may be one more episode, but it's just like the writing's great, the plot's great. Highly recommend.
Zoe Saldana is just an amazing actress. I have not seen the only.
She was a ballerina, I think.
The only movie that she has that literally could have cost her her career, I think,
Avatar.
No, she actually did good in that. When she played Nina Simone and she wore blackface.
Oh, yeah, we don't talk about that.
Listen, we don't talk about Bruno.
Yeah.
So that was the only one that I was.
Everyone has a Kamala Harris moment. Okay.
Listen, it was pretty bad, but anyway,
we've all learned.
I guess we forgive her since she cried her eyes out after what was the movie From Scratch.
Oh,
that was her way of begging the black community to come back into our fold. Anyway, in the rehab corner.
Wait, are you watching anything?
Oh no, I haven't watched a single thing. No, not this whole week. Mm-mm.
Oh, and Suits. I'm watching Suits. That's it.
Oh, okay, cool beans. I want to go see The Equalizer Part 3.
I don't think I've seen any of those movies.
Alyssa,
I don't think I have.
You had to have seen at least the first one. Him and Dakota Fanning get back together.
That's not The Equalizer.
Yes, it is.
That's Man on Fire.
No, they're back together in The Equalizer. She's older now.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. They played their.
I was like, this is not.
Because I think I want to say she's a detective. Or maybe she's a girl. Or maybe she's a girl that he saved.
What is the plot of What are the Equalizers?
So he's equalizing. So basically, Denzel Washington's character, he was basically like an assassin for the United States, right? He was like a Secret Service agent, all that kind of stuff. And so he basically gave up his career because his wife ended up getting sick, and so he promised that he would never kill again.
John Wick.
Kind of, sort of, yes. So what ends up happening is that his friends, there was something that happened where this guy was trying to kill this one girl who was basically like used as like a mule or a prostitute or whatever. And so he comes in, he tries to kill her or whatever. She's trying to get out of it, but she makes friends with Denzel. So when he comes in to try to kill her, of course, he's like, okay, I'm going to help protect you. Well, who he ends up killing is a part of like this big mob. And so the part 1 is him just trying to equalize and do things, better for people. Then part 2 is another part of it. And now he's at part 3.
So how did Queen Latifah get involved?
So she's on the TV show because his name is Robert McCall. Okay. And now her name is Robin McCall. So they just decided to make a series out of it.
So premise is kind of the same, but she is the
equalizer. Yeah, so she was in the CIA as well, and she's like a trained assassin, knows how to kill people, all that kind of stuff. So now she has this regular life with her daughter and her aunt that lives with her, and she basically left the CIA, but they keep trying to drag her in. So she's like, okay, well, since I'm going to keep dragging, y'all going to keep dragging me in, I'm going to take the cases that I want to. So she basically puts like a Craigslist ad out there, and it's like, hey, if you need justice, call this number. And so random people keep calling her and just like, hey, my son's missing, my daughter's missing, or, he's on the loose, he's on the run. And so she helps solve these cases with the police officer who's a part of the NYPD.
Okay, yeah, I've never seen that.
It's really good. Queen Latifah actually does a really good job.
Equalizer is on Netflix, yeah?
No, it's on the movie or the show?
The movies.
The movies, no. They are in theaters.
They are in theaters.
Or DVD.
Because we are in the 2000s. That's and right. Things still come out.
The 2020s.
In theater.
Yeah. But the actual show, The Equalizer, is on Paramount Plus.
Okay, The Equalizer.
Equalizer 3, yes. They may have put it on like Hulu or something. I doubt it, but
where to watch? Anyway, that's not. Roku, fuck, Paramount Plus, Prime Video, Apple TV. I'm not paying for that shit.
Yeah, you gotta pay like $20.
Absolutely not. The amount of streaming services we pay for is ridiculous. Also, the other day I was like, man, ain't shit new. Writer strike. I keep forgetting.
Exactly. And actor strike.
The
only thing they can participate in is like independent films.
Thank God. And I think that's why shows. Suits is so popular right now, because people are like...
It's the new Tiger King.
It's the new Tiger King. People are not exploring. Rediscovering, thank you, old shows, and which can be fun too.
True.
And Suits feels like old cable, which is cool. Like
plot, character development.
Yeah, but every episode is a cute little package. Bing, wraps up.
I'm just ready
for
Stranger Things to come back.
Bitch, Stranger Things. I was thinking about The Last of Us the other day. What happened to that? I'm ready for a new Last of Us.
Yeah, season 3.
Yeah.
3?
Euphoria, I don't necessarily need. It's probably bad for my mental health, but I want it.
Didn't one of the main characters die?
Yeah.
Was it suicide or overdose or something like that?
Overdose. His dad had just died. It was really sad. Yeah. Angus Cloud.
That's sad. All right, well, we're going to get into something a little bit more sad with regard to the
We're going to get sadder. Whoa. You sound like, you know those tops that you spin? Like you pull the string and it spins out and it's like...
Yes, I know. My sneeze does not match my body. Exactly. Whatever.
I never said that. I would never sneeze shame you like that.
You can. It's okay. Everybody does it.
I would never.
I'm not going to change the way I sneeze to people. Anyway, so in the Rehab Corner we're talking about today, I saw this interesting video on social media. And this video basically displayed this young lady or her mom. She basically put cameras in her mom's room. Her mom lives in this nursing home. And this is an elderly white lady, and her CNA was this older black woman. Mm-hmm. And so she comes in, and the lady is basically like trying to fight against the CNA, like, hey, like, get off me. I'm calling. She's screaming for her mother. She seems like she has dementia, the patient. And so the lady was basically putting all this stuff on social media, talking about, oh, look how she grabbed behind her neck and she was manhandling my mom and this is elder abuse and I'm going to, sue this place, da-da-da-da-da. So strangely, you would think the comment section would be like, oh my God, yes, get this lady fired. All the Karens
coming to rescue.
Right. But they wasn't. A lot of nurses and CNAs were just like, first of all, the video.
We got you, baby.
Right. Like that was not manhandling. Like, what are you talking about? Your mom is actively trying to kick this lady and fight against her. She's clearly trying to get her together and trying to get her situated. And so you just see the lady move the chair out. And so people were talking about, oh, you're just trying to fish for money and da-da-da-da-da. And I'm just, I thought about it and I'm just like, in our profession as physical and occupational therapists, if you see us do a treatment, especially on somebody who has spinal cord injury, a stroke, some type of neurological issue.
Is on sedation.
We manhandle the shit out of patients.
It looks
like abuse.
Awful.
It does.
I have told multiple family members of patients, like, hey, this may look a little wild, but I swear we're not doing anything crazy.
I literally had to tell that to my patient's wife and his sister-in-law on Friday because for some reason he had a neck surgery. And so for some reason, I think he still has an anoxic brain injury, but that's neither here nor there. Anywho, so for some reason, he just kept deviating to the right. And so I'm like, okay, his tone was so bad. I was literally putting all my weight against him, and he was still pushing against me. And so I just told the wife, I told him too, I was like, hey, Mr. Johnson, that's not really his name. I just call everybody Mr. Johnson. So I was like, Mr. Johnson, I'm going to push you real quick, and it's going to feel like I'm really manhandling you, but I promise I'm not. And I told the wife, and I was like, hey, it's going to seem like I'm abusing your husband, but I promise you I'm not. He's just really deviated to the right. Yeah. She's like, no, I can tell because he definitely looks like he's leaning to the right. So, of course, I take him and I'm trying to secure him, but I literally push the shit out of him.
It looks like a Heisman on everyone.
It does. It literally does. And I think, instead of recording staff members, if you genuinely have a concern about abuse of your family member in healthcare, have a conversation with that person or have a conversation with the DON so maybe they can do an investigation to see exactly what's going on with these patients, because your family member is going to act one way when you're not there. Because even I had this elderly man who broke his hip. His daughter was in the room all the time during our sessions and everything, but he had a problem with putting his hip or his left leg on the floor because it was hurt, and he had a hip replacement, and so he did not, and he also had dementia, and he was aphasic, so he couldn't talk. So I'm just like, okay, there were times where I'm telling my student, get the chair, and it looks like I'm just tossing his ass into the chair, but I'm just like, there's so much tone, and I had to tell his daughter, I want you to feel what this feels like. And she's like, oh my God. And I was like, you see why I have to manhandle him the way that I have to manhandle him? And it's not abuse. It's not to hurt them, but you have to prevent them from falling. But you also have to try to break up some of that tone as well, too.
There's some shit that we do that I'm like, this probably looks fucking crazy. Like when you have a patient who, the patients that won't wake up.
Yes.
And you're like.
You got to sternum rub them.
And to me, I'm always going in there and I'm like, listen, some people need stimulation. Some people just need to be up, to sit up, to wake up, but they can't wake up until they're up. So you know what you do? Someone grabs the feet, someone grabs the back. You pivot their ass to the fucking side of the bed, and it looks crazy. And then they wake up.
I will flick patients' ears. I will tickle their feet. I have slapped patients
pinching
before.
them in the back of the arm.
We sure do.
I'm lifting your arm and dropping it just to see if you'll catch it. It looks like we're fucking around, but we're just trying to.
A patient. Let me tell you something. You cold on me, I'm gonna slap the shit out you.
Oh, I told you I slapped the shit out of that bagel the other day.
Hey. Because screaming their name doesn't work. You have to jolt them. You have to sternal rub.
Or even sometimes it's a safety thing. Because I'm like, listen, we just got to go. If you're trying to get them to the chair or you're trying to get them back to the bed, you're like, oh, we just got to go. You had autonomy. You do not have it anymore.
Exactly.
It's a safety issue.
Because you got to prevent injury. And you got to prevent injury from you and the patient as well, too. And a lot of times, if family members who have not seen that before, they will think we're abusing their family member. And it's like, we're not. We're just trying to keep them safe.
Also, patients like to act crazy when family's in the room.
They do.
Y'all will move your own legs off the bed, pop off the edge, stand up, be fine. Yeah, and as soon as family's in there, I can't move. Yeah, you're fine.
And then you'll think, oh, we're trying to hit you. Now, we're not negating the fact that abuse does happen in the healthcare industry.
But not from these two people.
Not from these two people, because we don't abuse. Listen, I don't even want to be here, so I'm not going to abuse you.
The last thing I'm going to do is make my job harder.
Listen, and I will not abuse a patient. I will be like, patient politely refuse. I don't even want to see you as a patient.
Well, and there's times like it's hard with dementia because there's sometimes where you're like, they're screaming at you like you're doing something crazy. Y'all, we will have people sitting in a chair, sitting at the edge of the bed, perfectly fine like this. Help me, stop! You're pushing me, stop! And you could be fucking 3 feet away. And you're like, I'm not touching you.
I had a patient like that 2 weeks ago. She just kept screaming, I'm passing out, I'm back. She's laying in the bed, y'all. She's laying flat in the bed. And she's like, I'm passing out, fibromyalgia people, I'm passing out. And I was just like, ma'am, you're laying in the bed. You're not, even if you pass out, who cares? You're laying down in the bed.
It always sounds like you're doing something crazy. And the nurse will run in and I'll be like, we're fine. We're just sitting here. We're just sitting here.
As soon as they see therapy, they're just like, oh, let me just close the door so they stop screaming. But she literally, put me down. I said, put me down right now. I'm sliding off the bed.
You're already down.
You're not sliding. Relax. Relax.
My favorite is when they're blocked. Like you got their knees blocked. They're not going anywhere. They're sitting on the bed. There's someone behind. They're like, I'm falling. You're like, you're not. You're 100% not.
And you're like, Miss Johnson, calm down. No. It's like, okay, can you look at me right? Am I moving or are you moving? None of us. Okay, relax. You're not falling.
And it's so hard. Listen, we are very kind and considerate people.
Yes, we are.
But then, like, the fourth time that happens that day, you're like, listen,
Linda.
You're not falling. You're fine.
God damn it.
I've been doing this all day. No one's falling.
It's so annoying. But yeah, I think that people need to be, first of all, I don't think that it's necessarily an invasion of like, the staff member's privacy. No,
because you should be acting right in the room.
Exactly. Like whether the camera is there or not. And to me, the CNA looked like she was doing what we would normally do. Like, okay, you're actively kicking at me and resisting me. So let me just stop and move the chair closer to wherever I'm trying to get you, or maybe just into the hallway or whatever. Let me try to de-escalate this situation because it's only getting worse. But I think that there's a different way to go about if you feel like your family member is being abused.
Than posting it on social media. Everyone can have a comment about it.
Exactly.
And you're trying to garner support.
Because then it's going to turn into like slander. Mm-hmm. Because then if they do an investigation and find out that she actually did not abuse that your mother, then you violated that particular nursing home's policy. Well, then you're putting your mother in danger because then they may kick your mother out of that facility.
If this was a video where she came in and grabbed her and pushed her and shoved her and you had already taken it to them and they didn't do anything and you were like, this is what's going on at this place and they won't do anything about it. Totally warranted. I understand.
Because even when we do like different perturbations or different movements with the patients,
that shit looks fucked.
It does, and the thing is, we chart it in our file like, hey, use maximum, support them, use maximum force, facilitation to the extensors, whatever the case may be. Like we talk about specifically how much assistance we're having to give, and even too, and I'm walking with patients who have balance issues, and I'm purposefully bumping into them. And they're just like, is that me or you? No, it's me. That's me challenging your base of support. That's me challenging your balance to see if you will react correctly and use hip, ankle, or knee strategy. So a lot of times what we're doing as therapists,
I just bump into people.
Oh, I don't. I usually do only if I'm trying to challenge your balance and to see how you'll correct it.
My favorite is when you're holding them up and you're like, okay, I'm gonna let go to see if you can hold yourself up, and they don't.
You just
like, who?
You're like, all right. And they're on a freaking roller coaster. All right.
Okay, let's try again.
Exactly. Yeah. So.
Yeah. All that to say, the shit we do looks fucking awful.
It does sometimes. So it's not all peaches and cream, you know.
No.
So, anyway, anything else you need to talk about before we get out of here?
No. Texas won against Alabama this week.
Oh my God.
And I will not stop talking.
I'm gonna just let you have that.
I'm so
one.
happy.
Jesus Lord.
Man.
I didn't know if FAMU won. Who did we play? We played Jackson State last week and we won.
Nice.
But let me look up. Oh, I can't even spell Google.
Texas is now number 4. We jumped in rank.
So what is Alabama now? You don't care.
Ooh, I don't care. Didn't even look it up. Georgia still won. Surprise, surprise. Alabama's number 10, baby.
We lost.
Oh, no.
But we lost to the University of South Florida. We don't even play them. We probably got $1 million to play that game. But we actually did really good. We only lost by...
A&M lost to Miami.
Lost by 14.
Also, I'm tired of the horns down. Get your own fucking sign. Everyone has their own hand sign. Use it. This is not... Everyone that we play, instead of doing their own hand sign, like at the games when you'd be like, woo, whatever. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Do y'all have a hand sign? What is it at FAMU?
This?
That. So instead of doing that, every time they play Texas, everyone's like, horns down, horns down. What does that do for you to do my hand sign down? That looks stupid.
Oh, it's like a sign of disrespect or something?
Yeah, but just do your own, you weirdo. We don't do, like, it's so weird to me.
Mm. What does Alabama have? Nothing?
Exactly. They have this, which looks like Illuminati, which is stupid. That's probably why they do this. But get your own fucking hand sign.
Oh, because it's just an A, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we played this University of South Florida, so they're not in our conference, so we're good. We're still first in the SWAC. FAMU, that is. But we only lost, like I said, by 14 points. It was 38-24.
Oh, you only lost by 14 points.
But it's not going to count. But we beat Jackson State, who's actually in our conference, and we beat them 28-10.
Damn.
Yeah.
Nice.
Awesome. Anyway, congratulations to y'all, I guess, because we didn't win. But anyway,
hug 'em.
We won because we got money. Anywho, that's all that matters. All right, y'all. It's going to be an amazing week on purpose just because we choose and we speak over our week.
Here in this house,
we will serve the Lord.
We will serve
Hallelujah.
the Lord.
Hallelujah. All right, y'all remember to spread love.
Spread light.
And don't forget
to laugh your face off.
I hate you when you do that. All right, let's get the fuck out of here.
Thanks so much for tuning in to another episode of The Face Off with Fleming and Fowler. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at The Face Off Pod. Be sure to tune in to The Face Off every Tuesday where new episodes are released.